Hey guys, we're back for another episode of Red Thanatos Gaming. So yeah, today I'm going to be doing GeForce Experience. So if you don't know what that is, I'm going to drag this icon up here. You can see this little thing right there. And I will open it and show you everything about it. So first off, before I go into the actual settings, I'm going to tell you what GeForce Experience actually is. Not like it's how it works, but like what it's about. Nvidia GeForce Experience is basically, let's say you have an Nvidia graphics card. This won't work for AMD. Nvidia isn't going to support that. There might be a program of the equivalent. I don't know if I'm saying that right. There might be a program equal to this one for AMD. I have not checked. If I do find one, I'll find a way to do a video on it. There must be a computer around here somewhere that has an AMD card in it. But back to Nvidia. So basically, Nvidia makes GeForce as one of their lines of graphics cards, and if you have a graphics card, you can download this program, and this will scan your computer, check what all your games are set to, and then tell you what the best settings for those games are based on how your graphics card ran. So as you can see, I've already optimized some of my games, but some of them I haven't. So if I go to Fallout, you can see my current settings, 6, 8, and 4 for these, and it wants it to be 15, 15, and 8. So I've actually got it lower than I could. My computer can actually play this game way nicer than I have it set up to. And you see, it's almost straight green. I have these settings set horribly. So I just click optimize, and done. It's changed. And now when I play my game, I can guarantee you guys, it'll go way faster. I didn't have that set up for Grand Theft Auto, and I doubt you noticed, but I noticed, because the recording always makes it, a little bit less lower quality. Like my recording of my Grand Theft Auto videos, you can watch it in 1080, but it's still not going to be as good as it was when I actually played it. But if you did notice, then good. But if you watched the very first video, and then watched the very last video, you might notice slight frames, like a slight frame change maybe, that the game actually went faster. Like it actually plays smoother, even though my settings actually went down. Like, see this? I had detail distance to 31. It only had to be 1. And I didn't see a difference. This, I had it on 4. It had to be 2. This was on high. It needed to be medium. And the game actually runs better, like, on these lower settings, and looks nicer on the lower settings. Like, you can actually have it high enough that it looks shittier than if it was low enough. And then, once you do that, you'll notice that when I move my mouse down here, these green boxes appeared. So, like, let's say I float over here. It says detail distance. And it basically tells you what each of these settings is. So you click here. It says view distance. That shows, tells you what that does. And then you go here, and it says water quality. And as you do it, like if you see detail distance, see now detail distance is showed as the first one, and it highlights it. If you're looking up there still. And same thing with this and this. It's telling you specifically what each thing is. So then let's say, oh, well, I still have Hawken and The Sims, but I don't really want to read through everything. I think Nvidia is smart enough that when they designed this program, they made it so it'll probably definitely work. So you just click this, optimize all, and now everything is checked. So now I don't need to do Hawken or The Sims 3 specifically, it'll probably work. So that's all it is. And as you can see up here, it is just a beta. So there's only 11 games in this list. I have much more than 11 games. I mean, look, Euro Truck Simulator's right here, but it's not in this list. And Portal's right here, but Portal's not in this list. And same thing, Sid Meier's, KSP, Zoo Tycoon, not in this list. It doesn't support all games yet, but Nvidia is working on that. So hopefully you guys have games that they support. There's actually a list of supported games on Nvidia's website. I'll put a link to that if you want to go and see if you have any of those games. I'm sure at least one game on that list you guys have. But if you only have one game on that list, you don't really need this. I'm sure you can work out good settings on your own. Unless you're really bad with settings. If you think you're horrible with settings, go right ahead and download it. I would recommend it. So next tab, drivers. As you can see, I have 31422. That is the driver version. That's it. I don't really know the difference between these two drivers. Oh wait, Yes, I do, because it tells me right here. This is just my current driver, and this is the new driver. And as you can see, the new driver gives you a description, tells you specifically what it's for. So you can see it'll increase 20% for Dirt, 18% for Tomb Raider, 8% for StarCraft, and 6% for other top games. So I'm sure the 6%, it's an average for, like, they probably have like 3 games, and they just averaged it to 6%. I'm sure one of them was only like 2%, that's why it went so low. But that's fine. And you can see they added the driver update because it supports new games like Dead Island, Riptide, Neverwinter, Star Trek. So they're making sure their drivers are good to go. But as you can see, this one says beta, and this one doesn't. So how did I get the beta to show? You guys may already have this downloaded, and you're like, oh, well, I don't see beta drivers. Well, to do that, you go to Preferences, which is basically just Settings. And you go down to Updates. And all the way down here, you see beta updates. You need to check this box. And now you'll have this here. So back to Preferences, because we already opened it. I'm going to keep explaining it. Preferences shows you all the settings for all 3 of these tabs. You can tell it how to update your drivers. You can tell it where your games are located. And just click this plus, and I'll show you. Let's say I want to add Euro Truck Simulator. Now, Euro Truck Simulator isn't supported by GeForce Experience. I've already tried for most of my games. But let's say it was. I would just go to desktop, and you'd see... oh, God, don't click on that. You'd see there'd be maybe a folder right here, or an icon. It'd probably be the Euro Truck icon, and I'd just click on that and select it, and then you would see it here. So here, let me just click desktop, select folder. Yeah, okay, so I can't use my desktop, but I did go in earlier and choose games and write games, because these are 2 areas where it didn't have it added, and as you can see, actually it worked. Because when I went to games, it added Fallout, and I went to write games, it added Crossfire. These 2 games right here. So then, because normally it only scans your program files. So that's how you tell it to add new locations. Certain games, like let's say Nvidia GeForce Experience supports TF2. I have TF2, but it didn't find it. There's certain times where it won't find specific games. Like there seems to be a glitch where it doesn't find TF2. But if you can work out like how to get it to find TF2, like go to Preferences and actually select the icon, then that should work. I'm too lazy to do that, and I don't play the game enough to worry. But and so so you'll see once you added those, you're thinking, well, I went to games, it didn't add my games yet. Well, you just click this, check now, and it's checking for updates for the drivers again, because of this little checkbox. It'll probably say checking for updates, and then after that it should just disappear, and then the new games will be here. So I just recently added Fallout. So Fallout actually added today, actually. So should have showed that, but I didn't. Blah blah blah. I just lost my tongue for a second there. Sorry about that. So that's all that is. And then the general is obviously like the about section. No one reads that, but I mean, I guess you could. It shows like your version. I have it GeForce Experience 1.100, one of the first versions, I guess, and it's 1.1. You can choose languages. They have all of them, I guess. That's a lot of languages. And then you can do event logging. Now, I don't have event logging turned on, mostly because I don't know what it is. But if you do know what event logging is, please leave a comment and tell me what it is. And if you know what it is and you want to turn it on, just check that box. That's all it is. This is a pretty simple program that actually does a lot. I mean, for example, Grand Theft Auto. That's the one I was talking about earlier. In Grand Theft Auto, I think I was getting, while I was recording, maybe 20 frames. After optimizing it, I was getting like 35 frames per second. 35 frames per second. That's a lot faster. So just think of it this way. Your game could be going, like, let's say you're the shittiest person on earth at setting your settings, or you have a really slow ass computer, and your game is set to low all the way through, but you could actually have one setting changed and a new driver update, and then all of a sudden your game runs amazing. That is kind of what happened with Grand Theft Auto. In my first video, the game was running like shit, even though the video made it look like it was running fine. but it was like my computer was spazzing out. Like I was getting like 10 frames at certain times, and that sucked. After that, I optimized it, all the rest of my videos. You probably couldn't tell in video because the recording might have. It's weird. Recordings don't really show that big of a difference in game, because for some reason the recording, like, it records good gameplay while I'm seeing what I'm doing completely wrong. Probably just because it's using all its power for graphics to the recording, but you get my point. So that's kind of it. Long explanation, but it's actually pretty simple. This program makes your games run good. I recommend it to everyone. I hope you guys recommend it to your friends, and I hope to see you guys next time. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thanks.